The Food Mentoring Toolkit is designed to build capacity within agencies to deliver consistent nutrition information and food programming that supports key messages from registered dietitians. This video is part of a series of videos and supporting resources. For a list of all the resources available, see the Food Mentoring Toolkit section of the Saskatchewan Health Authority website. If you are interested in providing this nutrition information session for your clients or staff, facilitator guides are available for each topic to provide important background information and support. Please email your public health nutritionist at publichealthnutrition@saskhealthauthority.ca to access your free facilitator guides. Welcome to the Food Mentoring Toolkit video on Canada's Food Guide, a healthy eating pattern for Canadians. In this video, you will learn about the Canada's Food Guide plate, food ideas from each category, healthy habits, hydration recommendations. You can use what you learn in this presentation to equip yourself and your clients to understand the ins and outs of the dietary guidelines laid out in the Canada's Food Guide. We're going to learn a simple approach to developing meals and understand how important not just our food choices are, but the habits we have around food. Canada's Food Guide was updated in 2019 and was developed to promote nutritious eating and overall nutritional well-being. It was also designed to improve the Canadian food environment. Canada's Food Guide is a resource designed to promote nutritious eating habits. A central feature of the guide is the plate, which represents a simple way to structure a balanced meal. It helps break down eating well into easy, practical steps, meal by meal. While the Canada's Food Guide can help shape individual food choices, it is also a guide for shaping menus, programs, best practice guidelines, and policies. The Canada's Food Guide suggests focusing on an eating pattern that includes a variety of foods in certain proportions. The Canada's Food Guide displays half of the plate is vegetables and fruits, 1/4 is whole grain foods, 1/4 is protein foods. While not every meal will be served on a plate, the goal is to design meals that follow similar proportions, providing variety and balance. Vegetables and fruits are central to a nutritious eating pattern, providing essential nutrients such as fiber, vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients that promote overall health. Canadian statistics show that less than 1/4 of people over the age of 12 are meeting the recommended daily intake of vegetables and fruits to support optimal health. Some ideas to add more vegetables and fruits into menus includes adding extra vegetables to chili, soups, or stews, providing a raw vegetable alongside with a sandwich, wrap, or pita, using a frozen vegetable mix alongside hot protein, offering a fresh fruit along with cheese at a snack. Whole grains can enhance the texture of your meals, making them more enjoyable to eat. They also help to increase feelings of fullness, thanks to their high fiber content. Consider branching out by trying or offering grains you might not eat regularly, such as quinoa, barley, or buckwheat, as they can provide different textures and flavors to your meal. When shopping, check the ingredient list for the term whole grain as the first ingredient. It is important to note that whole wheat foods are not whole grain, but can still be a nutritious choice as they contain fiber. When grains are refined, essential parts of the grain are lost during processing. This results in the removal of many important nutrients that are beneficial for health. Whole grains keep the bran, endosperm, and germ intact, preserving their full nutritional value. Offering whole grains helps ensure you are getting the complete benefits from all three parts of the grain. Some ideas for adding whole grains into planning could be adding in a whole grain wheat wrap, making a salad with grains like quinoa, trying wild rice or brown rice in place of white rice, making a soup with a hearty grain like barley or buckwheat, adding homemade granola to yogurt. Protein can come from both animal and plant-based sources. Animal-based proteins are a complete source of protein, meaning that they contain all essential amino acids, which are the building blocks of protein. They are also a good source of iron, which is needed for energy and immune function. Plant-based proteins are also a great option. They provide both protein and fiber while helping to lower saturated fat in the diet for heart health. On their own, some plant proteins don't have all the amino acids, but combining foods like grains and beans makes them complete. A few more examples could be whole grain bread and peanut butter, hummus and pita bread, or tofu with brown rice. When choosing protein foods, aim to incorporate a variety of fresh or minimally processed foods. Here are some protein food examples: eggs, lean meats and poultry, wild game meats, fish and shellfish, lower fat dairy products, nuts and seeds, beans, peas, and lentils, tofu, soybeans, fortified unsweetened soy beverages, and other soy products. Pulses include foods such as dried peas, beans, lentils, and chickpeas. These are versatile and widely available ingredients that can easily be added to various meals. Pulses are rich in nutrients such as protein, fiber, zinc, iron, folate, and B vitamins. Pulses are not only nutritious, but they are also a sustainable food choice. Plant-based proteins, along with fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, can help organizations to create plant-forward menus. As animal-based protein can be costly, plant-forward menus can be good for both the environment and the financial costs of preparing food for groups of people. Fiber helps keep the digestive system functioning smoothly. It helps to prevent constipation and supports regular bowel movements. Fiber helps to stabilize blood sugar levels. A diet rich in fiber can help reduce cholesterol levels, particularly LDL cholesterol, or the bad cholesterol, lowering the risk of developing heart disease and stroke. High fiber foods are often more filling, helping to increase satiety, which means you can feel fuller for longer. There is evidence to suggest that fiber can reduce the risk of certain types of cancers, including colorectal cancer. Choosing foods with mostly healthy fats can help you reduce your risk of heart disease. The type of fat that you consume is more important than the amount of fat you consume. It is recommended to choose foods with mostly unsaturated fats and limit foods with saturated fats. Some examples of healthy fats are nuts and seeds, fatty fish, avocado, soft margarine, and oils such as olive, canola, peanut, sesame, soybean, flaxseed, and sunflower oil. Some examples of saturated fats are some highly processed foods, fatty meats, high-fat dairy products, hard margarine, shortening, ghee, and lard, oils such as coconut and palm oil. Highly processed foods are often high in sodium, sugar, and unhealthy fats. They're common and convenient, but it is best to limit them and choose whole or minimally processed foods more often. Cooking at home or within an organization with fresh ingredients helps. For example, swap packaged snacks like granola bars or muffins for homemade versions, or choose simple options like fruit with nuts. Highly processed foods are often high in sodium, or more commonly known as salt. A small amount of sodium is needed to maintain health. However, too much salt can have negative impacts on your health. In some people, too much sodium causes blood pressure to rise. High blood pressure increases the risk for heart disease, kidney disease, and stroke. Did you know all types of salt are high in sodium? Whether it is sea salt, kosher salt, pickling salt, or a gourmet salt, they all have about the same amount of sodium as table salt, and there is no difference in how they may affect your health. Highly processed foods are often high in sugar. Sugar added to foods contributes extra calories but no other nutrients. Eating foods with added sugars may lead to an increased risk of cavities, especially in children, excess calorie consumption, and increased risk for certain chronic diseases. Did you know free sugars like honey, maple syrup, and agave may come from natural sources, but your body processes it the same way as sugar? Whether you choose to use honey, brown sugar, agave syrup, or white sugar, use small amounts. Highly processed foods are often high in saturated fats. As mentioned before, too much saturated fat can increase risk for heart disease as they can increase your bad cholesterol, which can cause plaque buildup in the arteries. To reduce intake of saturated fats, look for foods that have 15% daily value or less of saturated fat, include plant-based protein foods more often, remove skin and trim fat off of meat before cooking, choose leaner types and cuts such as bison, elk, moose, skinless poultry, extra lean ground beef, tenderloin, and roasts. Bake, broil, or grill foods rather than frying them using butter or lard. Water is essential for maintaining hydration because we lose water through sweating, breathing, and eliminating waste. It's important to keep water accessible and always carry a reusable bottle when heading out. If you want to switch it up periodically, try an infused water or a variety of the carbonated water options. Organizations should prioritize making water the easiest and most accessible beverage choice by ensuring it is readily available, conveniently placed, free or fairly priced, and promoted as the best option for hydration. Nutritious eating is more than food choices. It is about developing positive habits around food and ensuring one's environment promotes nutritious food choices. Canada's Food Guide is an online resource, and here is what the page will look like that highlights that eating is more than just the foods that you eat. It is important to eat mindfully. Mindful eating means slowing down meals and limiting distractions, which can support staff and participants by improving food enjoyment, recognizing fullness cues, and helping you make more nutritional food choices in group or program settings. Organizations offering food programs can support participants by providing a comfortable, distraction-free eating space. Paying attention to hunger and fullness can influence what we eat, when we eat, and how much we eat. Taking time to eat and enjoying your food and eliminating distractions allows your body to tune into when you are starting to get full. Difficulty recognizing hunger or fullness can develop early in life. Learning and maintaining the ability to tune into these cues is essential for physical and emotional development, building a positive relationship with food. Organizations can support this by providing a distraction-free eating space while allowing adequate time to slow down and eat mindfully. Cooking is a valuable life skill that supports healthier eating, saves money, and creates connection. Preparing food from scratch lets you control ingredients, make leftovers, and enjoy better quality meals. Programs can build these skills by encouraging children, youth, and adults to join in meal preparation whenever possible. Eating with others builds connection, shares traditions, and encourages trying new foods. Programs can support this by creating opportunities for shared meals and snacks. Organizations can embrace cultural diversity by incorporating foods that resonate with their participants. Engaging with communities to include culturally relevant dishes not only fosters a sense of belonging, but also creates opportunities for sharing traditions and personal food experiences. People with special dietary requirements like diabetes, celiac disease, high blood cholesterol, for example, may need nutrition guidance from a registered dietitian. To see a dietitian, a referral from a family physician or walk-in clinic may be required, but not always. Contact your local health clinic to inquire about the process of working with a dietitian. The Canada's Food Guide also includes a collection of tools and resources that help convey nutritious eating guidance, including the Food Guide Kitchen, which includes recipes and cooking articles, Tips for Healthy Eating, which provides practical advice on topics like meal planning, physical activity, and nutritional guidance for different life stages, and Resources for Professionals, which is additional tools for educators, policymakers, and health professionals. The Canada's Food Guide is also available in many languages, including languages of Indigenous peoples. For more information, visit the Canada's Food Guide website. The key takeaways from Canada's Food Guide are: Canada's Food Guide provides a simple, practical tool for designing meals for individuals and organizations. It's important to create meals using the Food Guide plate with a variety of vegetables, fruits, protein foods, and whole grains. Try to make water the drink of choice. A nutritious diet is more than just food choices. It also includes our habits around eating, as well as being mindful of our environment. Some special considerations may be needed for other nutrient requirements. This ends the Canada's Food Guide video. You can refer back to the Saskatchewan Health Authority Food Mentoring Toolkit homepage for additional resources on this topic and to support learning on other important nutrition-related topics. Please let us know what you think by completing the short survey using this QR code or the link in the video description. We hope you found this information helpful, and we thank you for listening.